Welcome back to Shem's Universe. So today, guys, we're going to go over how each life path should adapt to 2025. So I think it's very imperative that we all know how we should be operating. Obviously, you have to use your personal year number to better adapt to the current year, but nonetheless, there's still archetypal ways to overcome each year and get the best out of it. I'm going to go over those today. So we're going to go 1 through 9. I'll do master numbers as well. Karmic debt numbers doesn't really matter that much. Just integrate yourself with the single digits. It's pretty much the same thing. So life path 1s, you have a bit of a polarizing year. There's a lot of arguments online of 1 and 9 are enemies. It's debatable. I think they're pretty complementary to one another. 1 is a starter, 9's a finisher. People born the 19th, like a Malcolm X, who has been pretty strong as a person. I find a lot of people born the 19th, specifically, even John Jones, currently a UFC champion. These people, they have anger, they have rage, but they have a start and finishing sort of mentality, meaning like they rather do or die. So if you're in a life path, if you're a life path 1 and you're in a 9 universal year, which we're all in 9 universal, the reason I bring those analogies up is that you have to look at this as a do or die sort of year, meaning you have to actually look at like, what have I been trying to do for the last 8 years? And is it done yet? Why is it not done? And get mad if it's not done, and really actually use the energy of this 9 to drive your imperative right through. So you need to be angry. If you're a life path 1 and you haven't gotten everything that you've set out to get in the last 8 years, you need to get pissed off and get it done now. The 9 years of time to actually have resolution, to be definitive with what you want, and to charge straight forward like it's an act of war. This year, like, you shouldn't have been saying Happy New Year to people. You should have been saying it's going to be a war year, right? Like, you need to actually look at it from that perspective that if there's things left undone, it's complete war. The only thing I'd say not to do is to set out new goals. The reason I'm saying look at the last 8 years is because the last 8 years you should have already had goals. Is there one? I don't doubt you guys usually do have goals already. You should have a very clear, distinct set of goals that you were setting out for and use those. Don't start new ones. That's for 2026. Do not start any new goals this year. Don't start saying, oh, I want to be a bodybuilder now, or oh, I want to start my own corporation or whatever. You can start these things if you are already in the process of doing them in prior years. Like, let's say you were already working out. You're like, yeah, I'm at 180 in muscle. I'm trying to get to 200 pounds in muscle now. Cool. I want to, if you're at a corporation and you want to get your business registered, but you've already been in business for the last 2 years, just unregistered, still paying taxes, wink, wink, somehow. That's okay too. You want to get registered now, cool. But it's when you start some completely new thought plane, some completely new vision that you've never set out to do before, you start saying, oh, I want to do that now. Completely pointless. It's going to be fruitless. The 9-year will decimate that completely. Do not do that. Next is 2, and I'll incorporate 11 with this as well to speed up the time. I don't want this video to be too extensive for you guys. Life path 2s, 9 is definitely your enemy. In Chaldean tablets, which I believe in the most, the Chaldean, they definitely look at 9 as the enemy to number 2. Moon versus 9, which is Mars. They are inimical even in astrology, so we know that's for 100%. If you're a 2 in this year, you're going to have to figure out a way to deal with disputes. The reason 2 and 9 oppose each other is because 9 is very confrontational, and 2 is very anti-confrontation, like very like, let's resolve this, let's be diplomatic. You might not, this isn't the age of reason. You can't be diplomatic this year. You guys already saw it happen in the States on the first day of January, right? Terrorist attacks, whole 9 yards. It's going to be a year of war. You guys have already been warned by me and other astrologers and numerologists online. We know 9 years are always years of the gun, years of war. If you're a 2 or an 11 even, don't expect this year to be friendly. You need to treat this like a real war. If you're an 11, take what I said with the advice with the 1, multiply that, amp it up even more. Use your emotional energy, whether it be negative or positive, to manifest what you want, but continue things you've already set out to do. If you're a 2, understand that your bridge to success this year is going to be via dispute, litigation, or some sort of conflict resolution. Whether that be within the family, within business, what have you. If you need a further explanation on that, get a consult with me, even a half an hour, when I can go over your specific chart and tell you exactly what that entails, or get a transit report. But those are the key components. If you don't want to get a reading, it's going to be conflict resolution between you and another party. That's going to be, no matter what personal year you're in, this universal year 9 is going to bring a problem to you that you're going to have to overcome. This is an enemy year to you. Understand that if you're a 2 or an 11, you're in an enemy year. Be extremely careful. Life path number 3. You guys are doing great. The usuals. I'm joking. 3 has their own hard time. 6 years is where you guys get screwed over. So for LifePath 3, you have the Heavenly Triad 3, 6, 9, but in the Chaldean tablets 3 and 6 are positive and negative versions of each other, so they can be in opposition. But the 3 and the 9 get along perfectly. As a 3, very great year for you guys. Going to be a lot better than last year. 8 was the year of restrictions. And then you have 3, which is represented by Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion and growth and wisdom. So when you're in a 9 year, it's a year of ideologies, like I already was talking about, disputes, conflict resolution, whole 9 yards. For you guys are already quite sociable. You guys can already be quite brutal when you need to be as well when it comes to dealing with people on a confrontational basis. Some 3s are expressive in that, some 3s are not, depends. However, the main component you guys need to know is that if you have like a creative endeavor, you should be really going hard at that this year. Any sort of artistic endeavor, political agenda you have, you can definitely get that done this year with a lot of consistency. 3 is already known to have a weakness with discipline and consistency because you guys are more right brain than left brain. So you guys are very like creative, expressive, and just overall imaginative in life. But you need to put some left brain regiment into your day-to-day routine. That's how you won in life in the universal year 8 as well, was through that routine. But you need to win in this specific year by militancy. Mars, Martian, military. You got to think in terms of war this year. So if you're a 3, you can have that happy-go-lucky mentality, yes, but you have to have a bit of a warlike mentality by saying, I'm going to get up at a certain time and have a checklist, I'm going to get things done. But moreover than that, whatever you're doing, whether you're posting on YouTube like me, TikTok, Insta, whatever, you need to be as consistent as possible and just do exactly what you say you're going to do when you have planned. If you do that, if you have a good person you're accompanying that, you'll have a great year. You guys are having very good luck this year just simply because it is a 9 year and that's in your Heavenly Triad. 9's very friendly to 3s. So unlike everybody else that has to solve disputes, blah, blah, that might come up for you guys because other people's karma might affect you. But you as yourself, as an archetype, you don't have much to worry about in that field. It should actually be a much smoother year for LifePath 3s in comparison to 2024. One sec, water break. So yeah, LifePath 4. LifePath 4, you guys are already used to working hard. I don't gotta tell you guys work harder. You guys will do quite well in that already. Speaking with 4s, I think issues may arise when it comes to work this year, business specifically. It could be through litigation as well, similar to the LifePath 2s and 11s, but not so much. Like, it's not like an enemy. 9's not an enemy to you. It's like neutral. So as long as you guys keep doing what you're doing when it comes to sticking with your agenda, being that hardworking person, but then asking for what you actually deserve, you guys should be more so going for promotions this year if you're in a corporate situation, or higher pay. Whatever you do, you need to level up this year. If you've already been doing stuff at this level, as a 4, you should be pragmatically moving up, which you guys already naturally do, I'm aware. Some of you guys have low self-esteem and just think, I should just be an employee, even though I'm an employee of the month every month. You need to put yourself above and beyond and go a bit harder. Because it's about time that you guys actually get your, I guess they say the just desserts. I hope that's the right terminology. I don't mean that in a bad, vindictive way. What I mean is that you guys actually deserve to earn more, be promoted. These are things that you guys justly have earned through hard work. So in the last 8 years, you've been working on something, you're working for a corporation, ask for a raise this year. If you want a managerial position in where you're working, get that. If you want to market yourself more if you're in business, get that. Do what you've already set your mind to do, but like try to just elevate yourself to the next level. This is just a level up year for you guys. The same goes for the 13 and for the 22s. LifePath 22s, be extremely careful. You have 2 2s, which is the enemy to the 9. I feel like you guys might have a harder time promoting yourselves or marketing yourselves in comparison to other life paths this year. So if you're a LifePath 22, depending on your person, you might have a harder time. I have to do a specific reading for you to figure out what exactly is happening, and then look at your rising sign in transit. But if you're a LifePath 22, this year should be a bit of a war for you guys because of that 2 energy. So you have to be extremely careful, and you have to know what's in turn with your transit reports, and then just numerology wise when to do certain things. You have to be very, very careful. That's all I can say. LifePath 5, you guys don't have bad years, you lucky sons of a. So LifePath 5, you guys will just keep doing what you're doing, be lucky. I wouldn't recommend traveling this year if you're a 5. I'd actually say leave that for the 1 year. Go to new places, don't go anywhere new this year. Don't move houses, changing cars, not the best idea. What I'd say is just try to stay on your agenda, be as consistent as possible, very similar to the 3, and just stick with what you're doing. 3s can actually propel themselves more. 5s, I just say just don't be low key. But because you're neutral, you're like that, just keep doing what you're doing and then see what comes to you. LifePath 6, effective, great luck year for you guys. The 8-year was good for you guys too, so that's great. You guys actually have a couple good years back to back. Depending on, of course, like we have to look at Chinese astrology, we got to look at your transits. All these things matter as well. But if the archetype of LifePath 6, very, very good this year. Extremely good. It's 9, 6 and 9 are completely beneficial to one another. They get along, they're best friends. That's why they have the terminology, I suppose. So with that being said, if you're a LifePath 6, you should be looking this year to put yourself out there more. If you're making music, market yourself, put yourself out there in that respect. Going for a job, go for more. You guys are one of the rare few, I wouldn't say to start new things, but you can definitely have very, very, what would seem to be new results this year. So things that you've been trying to do for the last 8 years might come to fruition this year in a faster way than you viewed possible. Do I have exact advice for you on how to do that? You guys just got to do your best. Once you're doing your best as a 6 this year, not being lazy, not being lethargic, not wasting your time, you'll do very well. For all my 6s as well, look at the shape of the 6, right? It's like, how do I shoot it for you guys? 6. So look at this. When I draw the 6, the belly. The number one thing you can do to increase your karma in the positive side as a 6 is simply to work out. If you're not obese, you're already on the good side with the 6. 6 wants you to be beautiful. It's aesthetically pleasing. It's Venus. So it wants you to be beautiful. If you put that in line with doing a creative endeavor of sorts or something to do with the medical field or real estate this year, you'll have extreme success. Real estate, medical field, or any creative endeavor, you guys will dominate completely this year. Nobody can beat you guys. 33, same thing. You guys can increase your influence a lot this year. Out of every single life path this year, 33 has the best luck by far. So just keep doing what you guys are doing. You guys will definitely win if you do that. Like, nobody can beat the 33 this year when it comes to influence overall, unless you're in like some sort of enemy year when it comes to Chinese astrology. Even that, I'd say the numerology supersedes it anyways. And then you have to just look at your transit report and so forth. But 33s, I wouldn't even waste your time making you get a reading from me. Just kill it this year. You guys should know what to do. You have the full 3-3, adding to 6, and then that's 9. You can't lose. LifePath 7, enemy year for you guys completely. LifePath 7 in accompaniment with 9, not the best combination. Kietu, which is South Node, the moon's represented by 7. And then we have 9, which is represented by Mars, of course. Those governors don't get along. Anything related to the moon doesn't get along with Mars. So 7s, be very, very careful of your mental health this year. Look at your transit report. Look at numerology when it comes to your personal months and then personal year as well. And then see how you can adapt. If you have a personal year 3, you'll do all right. But if you're not in that, then it's going to be a rough year for you. What I'd recommend is just being as disciplined as possible. You're prone to injury this year as well. So even if you're working out, be very, very careful in that area. It's one of those years I'd just say to stay as low-key as possible and just watch out for your mental health. Do a lot of studying, be contemplative this year. But it's your year to more so be in solitude and sort of like mitigate risk as much as possible. LifePath 8s. Interesting year for 8s. 8 and 9 have a polarizing effect on one another. 8 does pretty well in 9 years because 9's all about militancy and so is 8 for the most part. Saturn's all about being timely and very strict, right? So LifePath 8s will do okay. Definitely nothing compared to last year. We had our time. It's over. So it's going to be a bit different in the 9 year. We have to be very strict with ourselves. We have to be very hard. I think the 8 year wasn't easy on us anyways, but we have to be harder on ourselves in the 9 year because we don't have that Saturnian leverage anymore. So you have to really focus on things like showing up on time, following through with your word, and really outworking competition this year. I think hard work, just like with the 4s, putting in that double hard work is what's really going to bring you to success. Your transit report is going to matter a lot in respects to how the year is going to go, and your personal year is going to matter of utmost importance. LifePath 9s, you guys also very, very good year for you guys. LifePath 9 in a universal year 9, no matter what life path you are, into your own universal year with your life path, you have leverage. I don't care what any other numerologist says. I will debate them on it on the live. Just let me know. LifePath 9s will do very well this year. You guys should be looking at things that you've left undone as well, what your purpose is. And you guys are the only people, I'll argue, that can start new things in this year. Not even the 33 or 6, they can't do that. You guys can start new things this year and still achieve success. So the sky's the limit for you guys. If you're in 9, you can almost treat this like a 1 year. I'd say decimate the people that are useless or fruitless to your life. Bring in new friends, new network. And also, if you want to start new businesses or go for a new job, new car, new home, all of those things are possible for you guys this year and nobody else. Even new relationships, all those things. All right. So I hope I did cover everything for you guys. If you have any questions for me whatsoever, just please leave it in the comments section. Aside from that, like, subscribe. Holla at me. It's over today, guys. Peace.